Alright, so working on the LS swapped S197 Mustang again here. Last video we pulled the old engine transmission out, got everything labeled in here, got everything out of the way so that it's ready to start fitting up the LS in here. We have the LS sitting here on the stand, and we have the CD009. This is out of a 350Z sitting right here, and we just got in the Collins adapter kit to mate the CD009 to the LS. Now, a lot of people would have done a T56 or something like that with this swap. My opinion, I think that's more expensive. Right now, a used T56, if you're looking for them, they're probably going to cost you around $3 grand, something in that ballpark. They're pretty hard to find right now for anything less than that. And while this adapter kit is expensive, this adapter kit comes with the this nice, very nice machine plate here. So this is to adapt to the T56 bell housing. So it comes with the adapter plate, T56 bell housing, a brand new T56 slave cylinder. This is your clutch and pressure plate, rated for 500 foot-pounds of torque. It comes with a brand new flywheel for the engine. So all of that is included in the kit, and the kit's about $2 grand. Now that might sound expensive, but between the kit and the transmission, that is about $3 grand. And I overpaid a little bit for this transmission just because it's so nice and has such low mileage on it, but I paid about $1,000 for this transmission. So combined, to get the engine hooked to the transmission with everything you need, clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, bell housing, you know, slave cylinder, everything you need, is about $3 grand, and you're hooked up to your engine, you're ready to go. If you were to buy T56 for $3 grand, you'd still have to buy a clutch, you still have to buy stuff on top of that. So it's not really $3 grand for a T56 if you were to find one for $3 grand. So that's why I went this route. But that's not the main purpose of today's video. The main purpose of today's video is we're gonna get the LS stripped down, basically just to a long block, take the headers off, take the accessories off, intake, all that off, get it picked up on a stand, and you can pretty much mount this right into an LS, right into an S197 Mustang using factory Ford. These are the 4.6 liter V8 motor mount. You cannot use the V6 motor mount. So what you do, and I have this laid out as it would go in the car, so think of looking this way towards the back of the car. This is your passenger side, this is your driver's side. These aluminum pieces are factory 4.6 motor mounts from Ford from this year Mustang. These swap plates are for swapping an LS into a pre-2005 car. So 2004, 2003, anything before that, they sell these swap plates. They do not sell swap plates for a 2005 or newer Mustang. So this is how you get around that. These are your swap plates. So these 4 bolts right here match the LS motor mount bolts on the LS block, right? These ones way out here are for the Ford motor mount bolts. Now, it just so happens that if you take this LS swap plate and you put it up to this Ford motor mount, I can get it here, that bolt lines up straight through the Ford motor mount, that bolt lines up straight through the Ford motor mount, so those go all the way through into the block. You put these 2 bolts into the block, and you put a bolt through here, and you bolt that to the side of your LS. Now, on the other side, you put your swap plate on here. That bolt lines up through the motor mount, that bolt lines up through the motor mount. Now, you can run it like that with just 2 bolts, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, move this over, and TIG weld the piece back on so that it has support on this side from these 2 bolts over here. There are people that run them without those, and they seem to be okay. But if you put those on like that, you put them on the engine, and you drop those into the car, the motor mounts will line up right onto here where they bolt in the car. The puck, the rubber, big rubber thing, you slide it down, the motor lines up, it slides onto those. You have enough room between the back of the block and the firewall to get back there, and you have enough room to put your accessories on the front. So that's enough rambling. Pretty much going to start tearing this thing down and show you how it actually works so that you can believe me. This is the best way to remove these without breaking them off. Except for that one. Must have been already broken. I don't know what happened there. Oh, come on. guy off. There's one header. We're going to be reusing those. We're just going to flip them forward. I'm going to wire together and go up into the turbo. Oh, we got a dipstick here. Oops. We will not be reusing that fan. Alright, so I think, not sure if I'm going to pull the intake off or not, but I think it's pretty stripped down. I'm going to bring the tractor over, get it hooked up with a chain, get it off of this stand so I can mock up these motor mounts on it. I'm not going to modify them yet, I'm just going to bolt them on how they are. I'm going to drop it in the car, make sure everything's good. And then if everything's good, we're going to put the transmission in, make the cross member. Then we're going to take the engine transmission out. I'm going to add all those bolt holes, or modify those mounts so that they use all 4 bolts instead of just half of the bolts. And then put it back in the car and hopefully fire it up, but we'll see. So, engine is on the forklift here. Got it just hooked up temporarily. Now that I can get to these motor mount bolts, we're going to go ahead and stick the forward motor mounts on. Then we're going to drive over the car and lower it down. And hopefully everything lines up. It should, but we'll see. Alright, so the motor mounts are on the engine. I'm going to show you how ridiculous this is right here. The fact that everything bolts up. So this is the black swap plate I was showing you earlier. So that's got 2 short bolts that go in on this side. I'm showing this because there's not a lot of people that show this, how this works on here. So you got your swap plate. That comes with those bolts. You put those 2 short bolts in. On this side of the forward motor mount, these 2 bolts go through the motor mount, through the swap plate into the LS. Both of these line up to the stock LS motor mount bolts. These are even the factory Ford 4.6 liter bolts right here, and they're the same thread as the LS. Now, on this side, your swap plate comes out. That's for this guy. So you put a bolt, you put a nut through that, and that's bolted. Now, that really is not going anywhere. You have 1 bolt right here that is not connected. If you want, and I might do this, I'll extend the swap plate out, weld a tab on there, and put another bolt with a nut on there. But I really don't think it's necessary on this side. That should be plenty strong enough. Now, the passenger side, this is your swap plate. Here's your factory motor mount bolts from the Ford. They go through the swap plate on the front too, just like the other side. But here's the catch. The back side, they do not line up. So what I'm going to do on these is I'm going to cut these off flat. I'm going to move them over, and I'm going to weld the space here so that these 2 line up. So that way you got 4 bolts in on this side. You got 3 bolts in on the other side. That's plenty strong. Now, as for the purposes of mocking this up, that's plenty strong just to set it in there. We're not going to drive it like that, but there are people that leave it like that and they're fine, but we're not going to leave it like that. So this is just to mock it up, but I'm going to show you now. What's even more ridiculous is you're going to see in a second here how it lines up when you put it in the car. So those are just going to drop right onto these factory bolts, and it's going to be the right spacing front to back. So let me get that over here, get it in the car, and then I'll show you. So we got this contraption going on here, but I already went and tried to put it in, and as you can see, we were rubbing on the front here. So I'm going to pull this tank off. It's just 2 bolts, and then we should be good. It was hitting on the back a little bit. Oh, there goes my tool, and hitting here. So we take this off, we should be able to drop straight down. So I'm going to pull that off and try it again. All right, so motor is in. Now I'm going to show you how good these line up. Right now, it is tilted back because there is no transmission on it. There's no transmission cross member, so it's just kind of wobbling here. And this little, I don't know, this lifting eye is just sitting on the AC hose. There's not a lot of pressure on it. It's also sitting on the firewall there and the valve cover. But when it's in the car, it will be forward a little bit, so that should not hit there. Now, here's the motor mounts. Here is the driver's side motor mount, exactly how I showed you, how I put it on. There's the stud. You stick a nut on there, that side's mounted. Here is the other side. There's your passenger side motor mount. You stick a bolt, nut on that stud, your passenger side's mounted. And there's not a lot of people out there that show you really how to do this. So I'm trying to give you an idea of how easy it is. Look how much room you got on the front. Obviously you wouldn't run a fan because you got your electric fan here, factory. You have plenty of room for brackets. You have plenty of room for your AC compressor, your factory Chevy AC compressor. So you adapt those lines into those lines, you weld them, you have them come across, you go to there, you have AC. Now I'm going to show you the oil pan. This is the factory truck oil pan. It does stick down because it's a truck oil pan. You can put a a higher oil pan on there, but it does clear perfectly all of the cross members that are under the car. So your factory oil pan will clear everything under this car. It will not hit anything. That is how easy it is to put this engine in this car. Not to say that it's easy, but compared to a lot of swaps out there, it's very cheap and very easy to put an LS into an S197 Mustang, and it fits exactly where it needs to be. So there's that. We're gonna stop here for today, and tomorrow I'm gonna pick away at trying to get the transmission on. So it's the next day. I thought about this a little bit, and I've decided to, so as you can see, it is on the stud here on the motor mount, but it's very close to the frame rail there. So the whole thing, well, basically the two mounts are too far apart because I've got those swap plates on there, and those swap plates are about 1/4 inch thick each, so that's a 1/2 inch spread on the motor mounts. So my solution here is I'm going to remove the swap plate on the driver's side. It's really not doing anything because that third bolt on the back isn't catching anything back there anyways, and the back bolts aren't doing anything. So this is the mount I'm gonna have to cut and modify the back 2 bolts anyways. So I'm just gonna remove this swap plate. I'll just lift it up, unbolt it, bolt it back on, and drop the engine back down, and hopefully that's gonna bring it over this way 1/4 inch. Now that should be enough to get that stud where it's supposed to be. It's very close. It just needs to go a little bit to the driver's side, and then it should be good. So I'm gonna lift it up, remove the swap plate on this side, and see if it moves it over. Alright, so I think this is the best this is gonna get. So that's the swap plate that was on the driver's side. That's been removed, so now that's just sitting right on the block there, which is fine. That stud still lines up good, but it brought the engine 1/4 inch that way. So this stud is not shoved into the frame rail like it was before. That's about where it's supposed to be. You can reach down, nut fits on there, and that's good. So that's the motor. This is the basically final position of where the motor is going to go. I have to, for now I'm just going to unbolt the sway bar because it's hitting the crank, but I'm going to have to lower the sway bar about 1 inch, which is not a big deal. It's actually not hitting the crank, it's hitting the AC belt tensioner there when the engine rocks forward, which is what it's going to do when the transmission's in. So we'll lower the sway bar. It's not a big deal because I want to keep the AC. But yeah, the next step I think is going to be bring it over to the lift, unbolt the sway bar so it's just out of the way for now, and get the transmission mocked up and start working on transmission crossmember, because then that'll set the position, the rotation of the engine this way.